Hey y'all, I thought I would take you along with me this week as we decorate the majority of the cake orders that we have at the bakery. This is the beginning of our busy season, so the cake orders really start to ramp up this time of year and we get to do a lot of fun designs. These first couple cakes that I'm showing are actually not ones that I decorated. We have an amazing cake decorator. Her name is Adriana. She decorated these, but everybody that decorates at the bakery always hands their cakes over to me to write on, which I am happy to do. So on this particular day, I'm working on a cake that I'm super excited about. The client is super sweet and we've done some cakes for her in the past. And the brief for this cake was Love Shack Fancy. I don't know if you all have heard of that, but it's super floral, super vintage, and very dolce. The client actually sent over a lot of pictures for inspiration and to show us exactly what color blue she was looking for the cake. So I'm really taking my time with this one, mixing up a little bit of royal blue, adding a little dot of black, just to try to mute it a little bit, and just really taking my time trying to get this really beautiful blue. At this point, I've already got the bottom tier of the cake crumb coated, as you can see, and then I'm gonna go ahead and start adding my buttercream to it. I like to add a lot more buttercream than you normally would, just because I'm gonna go around the cake, I'm gonna smooth it out, and then once it's chilled, I'll actually go back with a bench scraper, and by the time it's all said and done, you actually end up scraping away a lot of the buttercream. So I like to start off with a good amount. So as you can see here, I'm just getting it as smooth as I can with my offset spatula, and then I'm gonna go back with my bench scraper and again try and get it as smooth as I can before I chill it, and then we'll actually smooth it one more time after that to get it perfect. So while that cake is chilling, I'm gonna get started on another order that we have for a number cake. I bought these number guides a few years ago. I think I ordered them off of Amazon, and we use them whenever we cut out our number cakes just because it kind of helps us make sure that each of the numbers is uniform and fit together really nice. So now I've got my sheet cake board all ready to go. I've got my numbers cut out, and I'm just going to gently pull away all of the extra pieces of cake, and we like to call these baker snacks. And then once all that is done, I'm going to very gently move each digit to my sheet cake board. And the good thing about these cakes is it's okay if they break a little bit, because we're going to cover them with lots of icing and lots of pretty little decorations. So here you can see I'm going around all of the edges with cute little dollops of our vanilla buttercream, and then once I get all of the edges filled in, I'm just gonna kind of go in with my piping bag and fill in all of the rest. I've already got my second layers of the number cake cut out, so I'm gonna go ahead and lay those on top. This particular cake is a marble cake, which is my absolute favorite. We marble together our vanilla and our homemade chocolate cake, and it is just so yummy. So for this part of the cake, I'm going around the edges again with my little dollops of buttercream, but this time once I get the edges filled in, I'm actually going to go through each little part and fill in with my little dollops of buttercream, just so that it makes it look nice and pretty, and then we can add all of our fun little sprinkles and decorations to the top. So this particular customer, he was ordering this cake for his wife, and he asked specifically for our macarons to be on top, and he wanted the color scheme to be a really nice light pink and then a pale green. So we popped some of our homemade macarons on top, and then I'm just gonna go in, pipe some fun little decorations on top, and then I'll let you see what it looks like at the end. So next up on our to-do list is this fun little Fiesta cake, and what was really funny about recording this video was that the customer actually ordered 2 of the same cakes. They were celebrating 2 different birthdays, but they wanted 2 of the same cakes. So while I was decorating this cake, Kelly, my general manager, was sitting right across from me and was decorating the exact same cake at the exact same time. So it was kind of funny to see how they came out with 2 different people decorating using the same design. This design is definitely not a hard one to do. It can be a little bit tedious, but as you can see, we're just using what is actually a rose tip. You use this exact same tip to make buttercream roses, but in this case, we just fill up different piping bags with different colors of buttercream using the same tip and just kind of use an up and down motion to make that ruffle effect. So it kind of ends up looking a little bit like a piñata, I think. Alright, so next up on today's list, we are working on a super fun, cute, girly unicorn cake. Adriana drew this awesome little unicorn face and made a horn, so now all I have to do is mix up some colors and pipe on the buttercream hair. I absolutely loved making this unicorn cake. We make a lot of unicorn cakes at the bakery, but this one was a little bit different, so I really had a lot of fun making this one. I loved adding the little pops of hot pink and then of course some sprinkles to the hair, and I didn't get a picture of this one when it was done, but I did spritz it with lots of edible glitter and it was just so fantastic. So by the time I am decorating this next cake, it has gotten really late in the evening, so I apologize for the lighting in these clips. But this is a cake that we actually offer on our website, so you can go online and order this exact cake. I like to start out with writing the name. It just kind of gives me the center of my cake, and then I go around and pipe some buttercream flowers. You can see in this clip that I'm adding on some buttercream leaves just to kind of finish it all off. And then I had frozen these sweet little pink flowers ahead of time so that I could just pop them right off the parchment paper and place them right onto my cake. We were actually so busy at the bakery on this particular week that I didn't get many pictures of anything, but you can see how cute it turned out. So here we are on the next day. This is Friday morning, so I always jump right in as soon as I get to work and start on the day's cakes. This one is going to be the sweetest little pink heart cake. Heart-shaped cakes seem to be all the rage right now, and most of our clients want them decorated with lots of piping and embellishments, and they are just our absolute favorite to decorate. So once I've got it all smooth, I like to go ahead and pipe whatever the customer likes on top, just so that I'm not trying to squeeze that in after I've got it all decorated. So I'm going ahead and piping my message on top, and then I will begin to decorate. So now that I've got the writing on top of the cake and it's centered and right where I want it to be, I can start to go in with some of my details. This is my favorite part of decorating these cakes. It's just so satisfying to do. So as you can see now, I'm going in with some fondant strips of pearls. We did a double border of those, and then I'm going to go back in with my piping bag and just pipe some more details around the edges. This was definitely my favorite part of this cake. I just love the little strands of pearls that are hanging off the sides. Adriana made these out of fondant, and I just thought that they were perfect. The final touch is these sweet little candy pearls, and this cake is finished. Okay, so up next is this two-tiered beauty. This design is actually based off of an option that we have available on our website, but this particular client wanted it as a two-tier version, so that's what we're doing for her. I absolutely love this design. I love the swags. I love all of the buttercream details. I just think it's such a fun, whimsical, sweet little cake. So, funny story, as I was decorating this cake, in the original design, the sweet little white bows that you see were supposed to be piped underneath the swags like you see here. But as I started decorating, I realized very quickly that they didn't really fit and they didn't really look right. So I wiped every single one of them off and re-piped all of them back to where I wanted them to be. But I'm really glad that I did that because I feel like it turned out really, really sweet. Up next, we have this sweet little cake. It's going to be construction themed for a precious little boy's birthday. He wanted it iced yellow, so that's what we did. And then here I'm actually carving out a bit of the cake, and I've crushed up some Oreos that I'm going to press in this little divot to kind of make it look like dirt. So once I've got my Oreo dirt all in place and looking the way I want it to, I'm just going to go in with some fun little details like a little black drip on the side, a little bit more of that yellow buttercream, and then his mom actually brought in some fun little digger toys, so I'm just going to place that on top, and I just think this sweet little cake turned out so cute. So this next cake that I'm working on is actually a 4-tier wedding cake. This cake turned out so beautiful, and I'm actually only going to show a snippet of what I worked on in this video because I am in the process of making another video that just shows the making and stacking and putting together and delivering of this wedding cake to the venue. So be sure to like and subscribe so that you can be notified whenever that video comes out. So last but not least, I wanted to come back and finish showing you the blue cake that we started working on at the beginning of the video. This was my absolute favorite cake of the week, so I had to end the video by showing you this one. The cake design actually has a little bit of white lace around the border of each tier. So I had this fondant mat, which isn't exactly like the photo that the client sent, but she said as long as we came close that she would be fine with it. So I used my rolling pin, pressed a strip of white fondant into the mat, and I was just so happy with the design that came out on the other side. I'm using my X-Acto knife here just to cut off some of the excess, and then we're going to go ahead and place that around the bottom of each tier. So once I've got that all in place, I'm going to go ahead and start on my gum paste flower sprays. Gum paste flowers are actually not my strong suit, so I do order these pre-made from DecoPack. I absolutely love these. They come packaged really well. They're never broken, and I just pop them right out of the package and brush them with some of this pink petal dust that I have, just to kind of give some of the petals a light pink color because that's what the client asked for. Once I get those all finished, I can go ahead and start placing them on top of my cake, and I was just so incredibly excited to see this cake finally come together at the end of the day. I just thought it was so beautiful. I really thought it reminded me of Bridgerton. And when the customer came to pick it up, she was just so excited. She was really, really happy with how her vision came to life, and so was I. So that's going to do it for me. We actually had a lot more cakes that we worked on this week, but this video is getting a little long, so you'll have to like and subscribe to see more content like this and see lots more behind the scenes of what we're working on at the Bakery by the Sea. See you next time.